The 2026 recruiting class was supposed to be another embarrassment of riches for Geno Auriemma, but with two top targets already off the board, has the pressure to land the nation's most versatile guard, Jerzy Robinson, reached a critical point for the future of the UConn dynasty?
Prime Field!
Welcome to Huskies Show. In the world of elite college basketball recruiting, the game is played far from the bright lights of the arena. It's a contest of strategy, of timing, and of dominoes falling one by one. For the 2026 class, two of those dominoes have already fallen. Kate Harpring, the number 4 ranked prospect committed to North Carolina, then Saniyah Hall, the number 1 guard in the nation, fresh off an MVP performance at the FIBA U19 World Cup, where she averaged nearly 20 points per game, pledged to USC. For the University of Connecticut, a program built on a dynasty of legendary guards. These decisions were not just losses, they were signals of a shifting landscape. With two of their primary targets off the board, the pursuit of one remaining player transformed from a strategic option into an absolute necessity. The central question now facing Coach Geno Auriemma and the Huskies program is not just who they will get, but what they stand to lose. The focus of this intense nationwide search has narrowed to a single name: Jerzy Robinson. To understand why the pursuit of Jerzy Robinson has become so critical, one must first understand the player herself. Standing at 6'1", Robinson possesses a physical profile rare for a guard. She's not simply a shooter or a playmaker or a scorer. She is all three. Analysts describe her as a matchup nightmare. Her size allows her to rebound and post up smaller defenders, while her skill set makes her a threat from anywhere on the floor. She scores with strength inside, has a reliable mid-range jumper, and can extend her range beyond the three-point arc. This 3-level scoring capability makes her nearly impossible to guard with a single defender. Beyond her physical tools, Robinson exhibits a confidence in initiating offense, a quality essential for a league guard in Geno Auriemma's demanding system. Her style is a modern echo of past UConn legends who blended size and skill. Players like Diana Taurasi and Paige Bueckers. That connection to Bueckers is more than just a stylistic comparison. The two have developed a close mentor-mentee relationship, a personal bond built on mutual respect. In the high-stakes impersonal world of recruiting, such a connection could prove to be an invaluable and perhaps decisive advantage for UConn. The urgency behind UConn's pursuit is rooted in a simple calendar reality. By the time the 2026 season begins, the Huskies' backcourt will look vastly different. Graduations and expected departures to the professional ranks will leave significant vacancies, while the 2025 roster projects a solid guard rotation with players like Kaylee Heckel and KK Arnold. The loss of veteran leadership and proven scoring creates a critical need. To maintain its status as a perennial championship contender, the program requires a seamless transition. It needs a player who can not only contribute immediately, but has the potential to define the next era of UConn basketball. Jerzy Robinson's skill set is a direct answer to that impending need. Her size, her offensive versatility, and her playmaking ability would fill the void, ensuring the program's standard of backcourt dominance continues without interruption. Without a commitment from a player of her caliber, UConn faces a genuine risk. The risk of losing its long-held edge to rival programs that have already secured their own future backcourt anchors. Jerzy Robinson has publicly identified her top 3 choices. The list reads like a who's who of modern women's college basketball: UConn, South Carolina, and LSU. This has set the stage for a recruiting battle of titans, a strategic chess match between 3 of the sport's most decorated and formidable coaches. In one corner is UConn's Geno Auriemma, offering a legacy of historic success and a tradition of elite guard development. In another is South Carolina's Dawn Staley, who has built a powerhouse defined by defensive intensity and multiple recent national championships. And in the third is LSU's Kim Mulkey, an aggressive recruiter who has rapidly elevated her program to national prominence. Each program presents a compelling yet distinct vision for Robinson's future. For UConn, the pitch is about legacy and becoming the next in an unparalleled line of great guards. For South Carolina and LSU, it's about being a cornerstone for programs at the peak of their power. Securing Robinson is no longer just about acquiring talent. It's about making a strategic move against 2 primary rivals in a battle that will shape the balance of power for years to come. For decades, the story of women's college basketball was written in large part by the guards who wore a UConn jersey. From Sue Bird to Diana Taurasi to Paige Beckers, the program's identity has been forged by transcendent talent in the backcourt. But the landscape is changing. The early commitments of Kate Harpring and Saniyah Hall to other programs are not isolated events. They represent a broader trend of talent dispersal, and the rise of new powerhouses challenging the old guard. Jerzy Robinson's recruitment has therefore become a pivotal moment. It is more than just one player's decision. It is a test of UConn's enduring gravitational pull in a more competitive era. It's a reflection of a sport growing in popularity and parity, where legacy alone is no longer a guarantee of success. Her choice will send ripples across the country. It will either reinforce the continuity of a dynasty, or signal that a new era, defined by a new distribution of power, is truly underway. For the fans, the coaches, and the sport itself, the stakes could not be higher. The legacy of UConn basketball is built on a foundation of recruiting victories, particularly at the guard position. Historically, when the Huskies targeted a top-tier backcourt player, they rarely missed. This consistent success has been the engine of the dynasty. But the current environment presents a different challenge. A failure to secure Jerzy Robinson would not be just another recruiting loss in a long line of cycles. Given the commitments of Harpring and Hall elsewhere, it would represent an unprecedented strategic setback. A hypothetical 2026 UConn roster without Robinson would be forced to rely heavily on the development of existing players and potentially lower-ranked recruits. This scenario stands in stark contrast to the projected strength of rival programs. USC is positioned to feature Saniyah Hall in a powerhouse backcourt, while North Carolina will be integrating the elite skills of Kate Harpring. The talent gap on paper would be undeniable. This possibility raises questions about the long-term vision for the program. For decades, Geno Auriemma has built his teams around a foundational, transcendent guard. Without a clear successor of that caliber, the very philosophy of the program could be forced to adapt. The alternative strategies carry their own risks. An increased reliance on the transfer portal, while a viable tool, offers less long-term zone stability. The path of developing raw talent takes time, a luxury not always afforded to a program where the expectation is to contend for a national title every single year. A miss on Robinson would force UConn to navigate this uncharted territory, fundamentally altering the blueprint that has guided them for a generation. And so, the recruitment of one 6'1" guard from Sierra Canyon has become a focal point for the entire sport. It is a microcosm of the evolving dynamics in women's college basketball, a story of legacy, intense competition, and strategic adaptation. Jerzy Robinson's decision will do more than determine where she plays college basketball. It will directly impact the trajectory of three of the nation's top programs and the strategic calculations of their legendary coaches. For South Carolina and LSU, landing her would be a significant victory, adding a cornerstone piece to their already formidable rosters. For UConn, the outcome is more existential. Securing her commitment would mean the continuation of a legacy, the affirmation of their recruiting prowess, and the seamless transition of power in their backcourt. Failing to do so would signal the end of an era of unchallenged dominance in recruiting and force one of the sport's greatest minds to rebuild in a way he has never had to before. The journey of Jerzy Robinson is her own, but her final choice represents a definitive crossroads, one that will set the course for the future of a dynasty and the competitive landscape of the sport for years to come.
Prime Field.